Oh yeah, I could just talk, couldn't I? I didn't think about that. Because I hadn't started the stream, I didn't start talking. Right, so, okay. How did I delete all that again? That button? That button. Excellent. If you do have any 12 markers you want me to go through, please put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to pick 12 markers to go through from one of the specification papers that hasn't been used, and try and pick questions that I think might come up, ones that I think are a little bit tricky. I'll pick some spec papers, I'll pick some 4 markers and 5 markers as well, because I think we always focus on 12 markers, but sometimes 4 and 5 markers can be just as tricky, so I'll do them as well. So I will start any second, I think. Oh no, I haven't done the little bit where my face comes up. Hang on. I think I've done that right as well. I don't know how to check. We'll have to hope that was right. There were no good reasons for countries to produce gender equality in church. Yeah, gender equality in church I can do. I'll do that one, Abby, and then I'll do yours, Jude. That makes absolute sense to me. We'll do that. So we'll do Abby's first. Gender equality in the church. Now, we're going to have to phrase it as a 12-mark question, okay? So, would the 12-mark question just be that? No, Abby, you're wanting it as a 12-mark question, I assume. So, you might phrase it. It might be seen as because it's not going to say within the church, because it's a themes paper, and therefore it's going to try and be a bit more neutral on the religious language. So it might be like religions should always treat men and women equally. Okay. So that might be how they phrase the question, okay? Yeah, I assumed you meant possesses. Prodded nuclear weapons would be very confusing, Jude, I'll be absolutely honest with you. But you never know. I mean, the exam board do ask some weird questions, and maybe it could be that we prod nuclear weapons. It would be exciting, if nothing else. So, we'll start with Abby's, and then, Jude, I'm going to write your question down as well, because I think that's actually a good one, and we'll do that one next, okay? There are no good reasons to possess nuclear weapons. Yeah, all the signs that so people who haven't been following along, all the signs on the wall are quotes. So we have got all the quotes for theme A up on this wall here. I don't know how I'm going to get up there to look at them. Oh yeah, and build my little towers of power. So you've got gender equality, divorce. So if we're going to do gender equality for the first one, hey Renat, it's lovely to see you, darling. If you've said your name, I won't resist saying it back. It was a shame I missed you in school the other day, but good luck for tomorrow. Obviously, I haven't seen you for a little bit because you've been going home early because your lesson, obviously, our lessons have been after lunch. So, if the question is gender equality within the church, okay, and we'll take Abby's question here, which is religion should always treat men and women equally. If they phrase it with the word religion, obviously putting non-religious answers in there is difficult. You could do it and they will credit it, but I worry that you'd go off track with that. That would be my fear. You might find it easy to suddenly start talking about non-religious issues. I think it's easier if it says religion should always treat men and women equally. I would try and focus on religious arguments. Okay, so my first one might be within Christianity, many believe that men and women have separate roles, but that does not stop them being equal. Okay, equal. Okay, so that's how I'll go for my first line, because I'm going to argue my first paragraph that the separation of roles within the church doesn't make them unequal. I'm not going to go on to the priest thing first, because I think that's a good point for my counter argument to almost defeat me. I know that sounds weird. I'm arguing it to myself, so I want to I'm going to try and come to the argument. I think I've decided already. I'm going to come to the argument that the church, that religion should always treat men and women equally. I'm going to say religion shouldn't treat men and women equally. I'm going to come down on that side of it, okay? For you will never understand Judaism. I mean, Genevieve, you don't have to in life. I mean, that is not a prerequisite of being alive to understand Judaism. So I'm going to go for this quote here. He created them, he created them, male and female. He created them. Okay. For example, in the Bible, it says he created them, male and female. He created them. Okay. This quote suggests that Nothing more saying criminals of prison if Sam. Jude, save that. I won't write that one down. Actually, I'll put it on this page, okay? And we'll try to get that one as well. There is nothing wrong with sending a criminal to prison. Jude, we're not going to do that question. So we're not going to do that question only because, and it might sound a bit harsh, that question came up in a previous exam. I'd have to check. I think it came up in the 2019 paper. So they won't ask it exactly like that, but they might ask a different version of it, okay? So they might ask, okay, the most effective form of punishment is, let's say, community service. That could be a 12-mark question. So we'll take that one, Jude, because, yeah, love thy neighbour as well. That's going to be really good for this one. I will use love thy neighbour in this one, okay? But that question, Jude, I think it's just more likely to come up, okay? So this quote suggests that though men and women are not the same, I hate it when it does that hate thing, not the same, they are certainly, oh my lord, I swear, if you're up there, let me hit the right letter at least once. They are certainly equal in the eyes of God. Okay, is that the greatest first paragraph that's ever existed? No, of course it's not. Okay, it's a very quick thing I'm trying to knock out while playing Minecraft the night before the exam. But within Christianity, many believe that men and women have separate roles, but there is not sort of them being equal. For example, in the Bible it says He created the male and female. He created them. This suggests that though men and women are not the same, they are certainly equal in the eyes of God. Renax, we cannot just keep using "do not spill your seed upon the dusty ground." I love the fact that my class love that quote. It's one of my favourite quotes. I think it's a very funny quote, but we can't make everything about that quote, okay? On the other hand, some Christians might suggest that women should have a lesser role than men. For example, okay? That is for contraception. Some of the people in this chat are in my actual lessons in the school, and that quote is one that has become a bit of a running joke with a certain student. I won't say his name, but we'll just do. We'll call him Mr. K. No, that's his first name, Mr. A, who likes to shout that quote at me all the time. I don't, Genevieve, because I don't teach Judaism at my school. These videos all started as me just teaching revision for my students, and it seems that other people from other places have joined us, which is lovely, but I don't teach Judaism at my school, so I never saw the need to do it. One day in the future I might try and teach all 6 religions for GCSE, but that wasn't what I started trying to do. Sorry, I hope you can find some resources that help you. So, for example, Eve is... No, hang on, I wasn't going for that example. For example, the Bible suggests that women must remain silent in churches. Therefore, for Catholics at least, they do not allow women to be priests and to lead the congregation during church. Why have I done a capital church there? I don't know. Church services. This suggests that men and women are not equal within the religion and therefore should not be treated as such. Okay, beautiful. If there's a 12-mark on capital corporal punishment, you strictly say to pros and cons, we can talk about other forms of punishment. No, Jude, that's a really good point. It depends how the question's phrased, obviously, but if the question says corporal punishment is the best form of punishment in some way, or then talk about as many forms of different punishments as you like. So you could go, corporal punishment's good, corporal punishment's bad, but a better punishment is capital punishment, or a more appropriate punishment might be prison. And then your conclusion can be, there are many forms of punishment, and each of them has their appropriate setting. For example, a murderer might deserve the death penalty, but that wouldn't be appropriate for someone who did a mere crime of vandalism, where community service might be more appropriate. You can definitely compare the different types of punishments, okay? That's absolutely fine. What theme is this? This would be for theme A, which would be gender equality. Hello, Mr. Footy. I saw you in our team session earlier. Lovely to have you in here as well. Yes, Kuba, Jesus was very attractive, and that's why I've styled myself upon him, except I don't have his body type. I've gone for more of a fat old man look. Okay, so on the other hand, some might suggest, how many themes are there? Herbert, there are 4, sorry, HKB, there are 4 themes, okay? There's going to be 6 on the paper, but you're only going to do 4 of them. For my school, A, B, D, and E. Other schools obviously doing different combinations. My school is doing A, B, D, and E, okay? So let's do the counter argument, okay? So I've said women and men are equal because women cannot be priests within Catholicism, okay? So let's do the other side of the argument. Yes, for my school, choose A, B, D, and E. Once again, if you go to a different school, I'm sorry, they're not the successful ones for you. So, how are we going to counter that one, okay? On the other hand, some Christians would suggest that though men and women... I didn't see that, I stopped writing. Can you do retribution capital punishment, please? I'll try to. Let me just whip back and put that on the first page. Retribution, capital punishment. I'm sorry if you can hear, I just put capital pun, a noise. I've got a rabbit behind me. Right. Jacob, darling, let's not shout things in the chat that's going to hit the moderator. I've had to make you quiet for 300 seconds, right? Yeah, good. A lot of schools do A, B, D, and E. I think that is the classic one, okay? Theme C is just very sort of religion-based, and my school that I work at, being a non-religious school, there's easier questions for my students to do, in my opinion, okay? And then some students suggest that though men and women have different roles, that does not make them any less equal in the eyes of God. Okay. So can we evaluate the points of multiple religions? Yeah, of course you can do multiple religions. I'm trying to give people a really basic answer to this one, Jude, maybe. And you could definitely bring in some Islam into this one. I might throw Islam into my final paragraph in this. This is the night before the exam. I want to make sure everyone can approach the question and get a decent answer to it. If you're revising last minute with a man on the internet, then maybe you need the most basic answers, okay? So I'm going to take this quote now, okay, which is, there is neither Jew nor Gentile, slave nor free, nor is there male or female if you're one in Christ Jesus. But I'm only going to take this last section of it, okay? So I'm going to go, a bozo. I guess I am a bozo, I suggest. That's probably accurate, okay? Doesn't make them any less equal in the eyes of God. For example, the Bible, shouldn't do a capital T for that's stupid. The Bible says, for you are, I forgot to start the quote, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus, okay? No, do grade 9 answers. I mean, I'd love to just do constantly grade 9 answers, but that's one, the sets I teach aren't always aiming for grade 9, and two, I'm doing the answers that I'm doing here. I mean, that's it. I thank you, Renat. That's very kind of you. There's neither male nor female, for you're all one in Christ Jesus. Okay. This quote suggests that men and women are equal where it truly matters in the eyes of God. Okay. On the other hand, some Christians would say that the sins of Eve during the fall of man, that's the story of Adam and Eve, say all 9 grade 12 markers. Would you say all 9, 12 markers? Would you say all grade 9, 12 markers include then for tomorrow? Zara, I'm not sure what that question means. Very helpful. I don't go to your school with this great love Minecraft. That's very nice of you. Don't say that. That's not a pleasant thing to say. Right? I'm going to remove that comment. Okay, we're trying to be nice about other people's religions and not trying to say anything that's even that. I don't know what that means, but thank you, Yusuf. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. During the fall of man, on the other hand, some Christians say that mean that men and women should not be treated equally, as it was Eve who was tempted by the devil. Okay. They may also. Oh right, okay, that's an English revision one. I don't know who that was, sorry. They may also point out the fact that Eve was created from Adam's rib, and this suggests to many... My rabbit just fell down its cage, that's great, many, that she is lesser than he is, and therefore women must be treated differently to men. Okay. You got Yusuf, that is a tough day, Spanish within RE. What do you think about Genesis 1:27? I'm not going to full quotes at the moment, so I'm just saying that you're good. No worries, history experience. I'm just trying to, keep everything as nice as I can. How much would you say we're saying for up 12 markers? So Suran, 12 marker, I would want to see 5 decent paragraphs, okay, for my ones. Now, I know some schools teach 3 paragraphs, 2 long paragraphs and a conclusion. I want to see 5 paragraphs. If you're writing over a side of A4, you're probably around the right sort of level for me. AQA, always do AQA, Valentina, because that's the one I teach in my school, so that's what I'm doing. What do you think all 12 answers include that makes them 4 marks? Oh, sorry, Zara. So a 12 marker, if I'm giving a question 12 mark, I'm seeing a balanced argument on both sides of it. I'm seeing a fluency in the argument, which means that the argument flows back and forth, okay? They're connected points, which is what I'm trying to show this one. And then it has a justified conclusion. And I'm also expecting religious scripture involved in it as well. So if I've got 5 paragraphs that go back and forth and argue against each other, this argument says this, but on the other hand, Christians say this is a weakness because of that, and there's quotes in it, and it comes to a conclusion that justifies it, I'm getting into that top bracket of 10, 11, 12 marks, okay? I haven't seen what Master Chi has said, so I don't know what that was. Deterrence, Arda, is a punishment that you give to someone to stop them committing a crime in the first place. Do a rabbit reveal, please. Oh, you want to see the rabbit? See the rabbit. I can't show you the rabbit. I've just realised why. Because I can't stand up because I'm wearing Percy Pig shorts and I have too much dignity. And I apologise, and that's what's happening. Okay, I can. This is Korean or Mandarin Chinese. I don't know. That's a difficult question. Retribution is a punishment that has retaliation to someone. So, for example, if someone else harms you, you punish them in a way that harms them in the same sort of way. Are you going to predict any possible 12 marker themes like different religion? I'm hoping to. There's a lot of things for me to respond to. Yeah, no, I'm not revealing my Percy Pig shorts. That would be very shameful. Okay, overall, I would say that within... Now, I'm going to go and look back at the question there. When you do conclusion, just flash back to what the question is, okay? This one, religion should always treat men and women equally, okay? Okay, I would say that within religion, they do not need to treat men and women equally. Now, this is not my... Okay, I will try and predict the 12 markers. Give me a second. Rude. Right. So, men and women equally, as the faith shows that men and women have different roles. I mean, guys, I might have to just close the chat at some point. This is becoming very... I'm not enjoying this very much. Different roles within society. Right. Statistics count as evidence, but they don't count as scripture, James. Okay, so they count as evidence, but they're not scripture. So you still have to include religious scripture there within society. Right. Okay. No worries. I'm happy to help, guys. Okay. The different roles within society and therefore they do not need to be treated equally. For example, many religious believers see women as having a greater role within the family, and men as the breadwinners. Okay. Now, this is not a thing I actually truly agree with, but it's how you can do a decent conclusion. Right. How many quotes include per 12 marker? So I'd want to see at least 2 quotes. That would be the thing I'd like to see. I'd like to see at least 2 quotes. Predict 12 markers. Okay, I'll try and predict the 12 markers. Jesus had long hair. Wait for English lit. I've got a question. So I don't know. On the 12 markers will be. Well, I will try and right. Let's do that. I will try and predict the 12 markers. Okay, so this seems to be something that people are desperate for. Okay, so 12 marker prediction. I would be very surprised if on theme B, my prediction would be euthanasia. Okay, so theme B, I think it's going to be a euthanasia 12 marker. So it's obviously impossible to predict the 12 markers completely, but what we can look at is things that have come up in previous years. Okay, I'm not going over Judaism. I don't teach Judaism. Okay, no, because none of my students are doing evangelism. Give me the whole test. If I had it, I would happily give it. Okay, I think for the 12 marker for theme B is going to be euthanasia. Why do I think that? Because I don't think in the last few years they've asked a euthanasia question. Okay, now theme A, I think theme A is a very good question to ask on. Okay, theme A, if we look at the previous questions. Okay, so I've got this paper up in front of me. So last year's one, the 2021. Go, and we'll just move that. So Universal Declaration of Human Rights and 12 mark questions. I'm not doing theme F today. I'm sorry, I'm not going through theme F. Was gender discrimination is wrong. Okay, so that's what we had as last year's 12 marker. Just so I can teach it in a book. I don't know. Euthanasia is a good death. Assisted suicide. Yes, I think a lot of people, Zara, will think this one. Okay. There we go. Right, I'm getting rid of a few people in this because they're just annoying, and I'm sorry, it's just rude. I'm trying to help with some revision stuff, and I'm just going to stop doing it in a second. Frustrating. Well, I'm trying to revise some theme A stuff, Milan. Would you lose mark for not writing the question number? Yeah, possibly you would lose that. Your teachers not know euthanasia, I hope they do. Theme C, very little. I'm sorry, I didn't revise Theme C because I don't teach Theme C at my school. So that is not something I teach, okay? Too old to be doing this. Well, no, it's trying to focus on people's questions that actually matter. Theme A prediction. So, I mean, if we had last exam, we had... well, I'm trying to go through all of them. So, I think Theme B is going to be euthanasia. Theme A is not gender discrimination. My prediction for Theme A is actually... I think it might be divorce. I don't think I've seen many questions on divorce. I could really see divorce being the question, okay? So I would like to see a Theme A divorce one. No, I'm not doing Revelations, that's Theme C. I don't teach Theme C. Sorry, that's not a thing we do at my school, okay? So Theme D, now I was going through Theme D with my students earlier. Theme D is a war question, and I think I've got two fears. I've got one that might be a question on peacemaking, which I think would be a really difficult one, or it might be a question on pacifism. Okay, those are my predictions for Theme D. And Theme E. Theme E I think is really difficult. Now I'm not doing human rights because I don't teach Theme F. I'm doing A, B, D and E, okay? Right, there we go. That should get rid of that person. Right. We have done Islam for the previous exam. I will try and bring some Islam in there. I was trying to focus just on the basics of Christianity of this one. Yeah. Okay. So, and Theme E, I'm going corporal punishment for that one. I think corporal punishment is coming up as the 12 marker, but it might be community service, and that's where I think it's going. But that is completely guess. Can you close the background music? I don't know how. Right. So, I mean, so many people doing some bizarre things that are just annoying me. So, these are the 12 markers. Yeah, this is what I'd like to see in the 12 markers. So, someone else asked for the 12 markers. You want the same thing, peacemaking as well as pacifism. Not exactly, Zara, because peacemaking and pacifism are slightly different things, so you'd say very similar things. Peacemaking is not being violent. Pacifism is not being violent and refusing to use violence. Peacemaking is the active action of trying to make the world a more peaceful place. Yes, I'm trying to do predicted questions, but I keep getting asked 1,000 questions. Do any Christian groups justify divorce? Yes, Mohammed. Church of England. The Church of England justifies divorce by saying that if someone has already broken their vows, for example by committing adultery, then divorce would be acceptable. God wants us to be happy. Go to settings, then... Oh, right, okay, you're talking about the Minecraft thing. Right, okay. Settings... Oh, my lord. You lot are making my life so much harder. Right. Audio, music. Right, there we go. Right. Yes, you would still get marks of paraphrasing a religious reference. Yeah, James, for community service, you can talk about Sadaqah in Islam. That's a perfectly good thing to talk about for community service. And I'll try and do a predicted question in a second. You can also go over the basics of Theme E. Katie, if you go onto my other videos, there's a whole video I did yesterday on the whole of Theme E. Okay, so the whole of Theme E I covered yesterday, okay? So, let's go back and try another one of these 12-mark questions, okay? So, the second question that I think someone called Jude suggested was, there are no good reasons to possess nuclear weapons. Could come up, okay, but I don't think it's most effective. But I'm going to do this second one Jude suggested. The most effective form of punishment is community service, okay? So I think we're going to have a go at this one. The most effective form of punishment is community service. I'm going to delete some pages here, okay? So, I just realised I deleted the one where I did practice questions. Oh my god, I've done that one wrong. Right, so, I don't know what that means. So 12 marker, do we do 4? Yes, that's what I would do, Milan. 4 against conclusion. I know some schools teach 4 against conclusion. No, Master Chi, there'll be no questions about evangelism. Okay, there you go, Jude. Trying to help out, just trying to silence a lot of the people in the chat who are just filling it. And that's not people who are being rude necessarily, but just focus on the RE. The exam is tomorrow, okay? So, that's all I want is for you lot to pass RE. Alright. So, love thy neighbour is a very good quote. Use it as much as you can, okay? Especially on the war section. So, I'm on the AQA spec, yeah? It's all AQA. So, AQA themes paper that's going on tomorrow, I'm doing themes A, B, D, and E, okay? If I knew how to pin that message to the top, I would, but I'm a very old man who's just trying his best. So, well, let's do this question about community service first, okay? So, this is a question we're doing, okay? The most effective form of punishment is community service, okay? Some Christians, pick a religion and go with it, okay? Would agree that community service is the... Yeah, don't worry, C's a pain. C's a really difficult theme, Master Chi, especially the school I'm at is a non-religious one. I don't know, it won't come up. I just know my school is not teaching it because we're not doing theme C. It's not on theme A, B, D, and E, okay? How do you structure a 12 marker? My previous videos go over how to structure a 12 marker. If you check my 12 marker ones, I go through the structure of it. Okay, I go 4 against conclusion, okay? So I'm going to do an example here. If you just watch it, I will do an example of it. So some Christians agree that community service is the best form of punishment as it allows people to reform their behaviour while also helping others. This is considered a good thing as the Bible teaches that we should love thy neighbour, because someone keeps shouting that quote in the chat, so let's go for that one. And this means through community service we help others as well as making the world a better place. Okay. Do you think you could get a grade 12 with your help? A grade 12 doesn't exist. That's a horse. Thank you, Renat. Nature of families could be a topic in the exam, yeah. And if you go back to my videos, I've done one on theme 8 and I did the whole thing about the nature of families. Okay, Zara. Well, that's there's a video on war that you can go and watch. Okay, that I did a couple of days ago. I'm trying to do A, B, D, and E. I'm just doing practice 12 markers. Okay. All right. So I'm just doing practice 12 markers for people. And I'll be honest, it's taken me a long time because people are asking so many questions. Not telling you a weird question. Right. So community service will help others. Is there any way of... Right. No. So I don't know which topics will come up, Mr. Rabbit. I'm just making my best guess, okay? There could be a question on corporal punishment, okay? But I think it's less likely than a question on community service. But that's a personal guess, okay? Do you have to say in your conclusion, or could you be general? You could be general, Katie. You could definitely be general conclusion, okay? So community service is helping others. Yeah, well, the problem is I've got to keep an eye on this in case people are saying anything that's inappropriate. I've got to get rid of it because this is, meant to be a revision thing. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's just difficult. And I don't know how to moderate that. What does whoever spares a rod hate his son, but who loves him mean regarding this question? This means, Jude, that if you're, it's a quote that means if you're willing to strike someone, it means that you're doing a loving thing because you're trying to get discipline into your son. A, B, D, and E are the same ones we're doing again, okay? Well, I can try to, but, can people try and behave in there, okay? So we help others while making the world a better place, okay? So that's community service, okay, is a good thing, okay? This would suggest that community service is the best form of punishment, okay? Now, I'm not going to agree with that, okay? However, some Christians, B, D, E, that was the other one, okay? However, some Christians would strongly disagree with this statement, as they may teach that community service does not provide retribution, as they believe in the quote, an eye for an eye. This quote suggests that people's punishment helps. I can spell. I spelled that wrong. I'm not going back for it. Punishment should fit the crime, and therefore, I'm not going to change that either. Community service is not a strict enough punishment. And I shouldn't say punishment again, but I'm going to go quickly. Okay? Yeah, this is crime and punishment. Yeah, see, do not spill your seed upon the dusty ground is a great quote, even in this one, okay? So, now I'm going to link it to another form of punishment. They may, my spelling has gone all over the place, suggests that prison or capital punishment may be a more appropriate, I don't need the A, may be more appropriate for certain crimes, okay? Could you include eye for an eye makes the world blind? Yeah, Jude, that'd be a great quote to use in, okay? So that's a lovely one. If you use eye for an eye makes the world blind from Gandhi, or you could even just go more simple and go from Jesus. Don't forget, Jesus comments on eye for an eye and criticises it. He says, you've heard it said there's an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, but I tell you now, if a man strikes you up on the right cheek, turn the other cheek to him also. So you can just use turn the other cheek. Now, that you could just use instead of eye for an eye leaves the world blind. But obviously, eye for an eye leaves the world blind, Gandhi is a great retribution point. If you're trying to keep it within the Christian family, that I would go for turn the other cheek, which is Jesus' counter-argument for that, okay? Let's throw that in now there. However, actually no, that would be if we're talking about corporal punishment. So on this one, I'm going to go, however, Jesus teaches Christians to forgive 70 times 7 times, and they may suggest that capital, that's spelled completely wrong, capital punishment and prison do not allow for forgiveness, and this would suggest that community service is therefore the best form of punishment, okay? So I'm going to link it very quickly back to community service, okay? So I'm just going, okay, Jesus teaches to forgive, and they'll do that, okay? Now I'm going to say a weakness of this argument, okay? Okay, so, report that person. Very frustrating. Right, I'm going to just hide a few more people so I can't hear them. Sorry, I don't know if you're trying to ask a sensible question. Thou shalt not steal, I don't know, but those are great quotes. Renat. Sorry, back to my book, okay? So, therefore, community service is the best form of punishment. Okay, well, let's go over to my quotes about corporal punishment, okay? So, where have we got corporal punishment? Corporal punishment was up here, okay? Spare the rod, spoil the child. Let's go for that one, okay? Because I'm trying to do people a favour, and people being rude is annoying. Bye. Right. So, spare the rod, spoil the child. Let's get the book out again. So, I'm going to add the final page, this one. Okay. You could say that. I don't know if it fit for this question, okay? I guess it would be a piece of submission, but I don't think it's the most effective quote in this one. For this one on Islam, I mean, I would probably go that Islam allows capital punishment for certain crimes, and it should be used as a deterrent. And that's probably where I'd go with Islam on this one. Okay, I'm going to stick with Christianity for this one, just to keep things simpler, right? On the other hand, some Christians may suggest... Now, I'm probably using the wrong sort of language here. It's not flowing very well. So it may suggest that... I know, you know, it does seem odd, but, you know, people can make their own decisions. I'm not here to do that. I don't know what that means. So some Christians may suggest that corporal punishment is superior, as it can work as a deterrent. Oh my lord, a deterrent. Okay, a deterrent is a punishment that stops other people committing the crime. So if you punish people harshly and everyone sees it, they are less likely to commit the crime in the first place. Do you refer to need to... No, I don't. Not as far as I teach it, Radib. Maybe for a contrast question, but actually on this paper it just says you must show a balanced side of the argument. It doesn't say you must show two religions. Now, sometimes showing two religions is the easiest way to show a balanced argument, but in this case, I don't think you need to. I think you can just say that you can just say that these different arguments about corporal punishment and capital punishment and prison are the balanced argument. That is how I'd personally do it. Okay, so thank you. I'm answering a question about community service. Okay, so on the other hand, some Christians may suggest a corporal punishment is superior to working deterrent. In the Bible, it says, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." This quote can be seen as allowing and promoting corporal punishment, okay, and thus it could be seen as superior to community service. This is because community service may not be... I mean, for Christ, there's a number of things I'm having to do. Right. Oh man, hang on. I'll come back to that in a second, Jude, because that's a tough question. Community service may not be used as a deterrent, as it may not be seen as harsh enough. Okay. Now, before I do the overall, the way I think this would work, okay, because this is a question about community service, right? But actually, what we've got in this one community service question, okay, is we've got community service in the first section with a Bible quote. Then in the second paragraph, we've got retribution, another key term, and we've got stuff about prison and capital punishment with another quote in there, okay? Then we've got, in the final one, Jesus teaches Christians to forgive, 72 times 7, another quote, a reference to capital punishment, and we've got deterrent in there. So actually, by doing this, we're covering such a wide range of topics in this, okay? I'm probably not going to get a chance to do Islam revision. I'm just going over themes topics and giving basic answers to 12-mark questions, because it's literally the day before the exam, so we're not going into too much detail on this, okay? So my plan is just to go through 12-mark questions. So, then throw a conclusion on it. Overall, I believe that the different forms of punishment all have a place in dealing with criminals. Though community service is valuable, it may not be appropriate for all crimes. For example, it may may not be enough protection, another key term, protection against violent criminals who would still be free. Okay, not the best conclusion, but not bad. Do you have to say Catholics, Protestants? Can you say some Christians? You can say some Christians. You can completely say some Christians. Obviously, your answer will be stronger if you're being specific about Catholics and Protestants. I would normally just go for Catholics and Church of England, but you can go Protestants as well and be specific about Church of England beliefs. What are some beliefs about justice? Beliefs about justice is that, firstly, God is just, okay? For I, the Lord, love justice. So you're going to say that Christians should promote justice. When they go to war, they should always be trying to fight for justice and install justice. Alright, so, I'm just having to mute a lot of people just so I can focus. How would you advise to write for the 12 mark? Right, so Neo, I always say 5 paragraphs, okay? Now, other schools teach 3, okay? My tactic is build the blocks. I'll get up here. 4 against, in my opinion. Make sure 2 of these paragraphs are religious, okay? So I'd want at least 2 of these paragraphs to contain quotes, okay? What is capital punishment, Harry? Capital punishment is when we put someone to death for their crimes. If a question on awe and wonder came up, what would you talk about, Miss Minton? I would talk about in a question about awe and wonder how, now that's a tough one. Awe and wonder is a horrible topic, and that's over in theme B. So you talk about the creation of the universe. I'll be talking about how awe and wonder can teach us to look after the planet. That if the planet is such a glorious thing created by God, then we should be stewards of it and look after it. So we should be like looking after the planet. What structure you use for 12 marker? I just went over that, Mr. Trzicki. Okay, 4 against conclusion. That's how I would do it. Other schools teach 3 paragraphs. Some schools teach different structures. I teach my students 4 against conclusion. Could I get a quote on animal testing in Islam, please? Yes, animal testing in Islam. Do not cut your horse's tail. Okay, which suggested that we should not abuse animal. Okay, do not cut your horse's tail. Quotes in support of community service. So community service we have over here. Community service. Where did I put community service? Here we go. Okay. As each has received a gift, use it to service one another. Okay. As each has received a gift, use it to service one another. Yeah, I think it automatically gets posted to my channel afterwards. That's just the number 2. I don't know what the lean paragraph structure is, Mr. Blaze. I'm sorry if that's anything I meant to know. Do not kill anything bigger than a sparrow without good reason. Yeah, Master Yoda, that's a great quote. That's an absolutely great quote. Sorry. I'm trying to focus on Christianity and do about 13 different things at once, but that's a fantastic quote to use in that question. Well done. That's better than the one I came up with. You've absolutely topped me there. Okay, so someone else wanted to do a different question here. Retribution and capital punishment. I think we've talked about that quite a lot in this question. If you want to do a retribution question, you just take this community service question and sort of reverse the paragraphs, and you'd have capital punishment as your main paragraph, and then have community service arguing against it. How are your pets? Fine. They're fine. They're asleep. Quotes of Christian attitudes to suffering. Okay, so the best thing for Christian attitudes to suffering, okay, and we'll put suffering up here. Okay, I think it's a good thing to ask about. Suffering is when we have caused pain, okay, and the best thing to talk about is, I wouldn't use a quote, I would use a story of Job, okay? The story of Job is the idea that it's a story told in the Bible that Job is, now it's pronounced Job, I say Job because I want to spell it correctly. But I think this is the easier exam for me, personally. I think the story of Job it's meant to teach Christians that it's a man who suffers greatly at the hands of God. He keeps his faith and is in the end rewarded, okay? So the story goes that God and the devil are questioning Job's faith, and this is a very simple version of the story. It's not accurate to the Bible, but for the second you're in there. So the story of Job goes that he is punished by God to test his faith. He keeps his faith, and then he is rewarded. What's that meant to teach Christians? Well, the story is meant to teach Christians that if they keep their faith in God, even when times are tough, for example, if they have a terminal disease, then they will be rewarded with heaven in the end. James, I will try and do one on peace and pacifism. Roadblocks, is Jesus real, scientifically proven? You can't scientifically prove Jesus, I would say, but historically, yes, there was a man called Jesus. He existed. Whether he was the Son of God cannot be proved scientifically. That's faith. Manchester City, that's a joke. Neo, I haven't seen Neo's one. Oh, no worries, absolutely fine. Like, trying to help people pass RE is nice, that's fine. I think a lot of the people who are trying to be silly in the stream, and that's, I get it, it's the internet, that's sort of what people do, have disappeared, and so we've got a bit of more space to actually just do some questions. Okay, my aim is to help people pass RE because I'm a loser. Someone put a really good question in there. 12 mark on peace and pacifism. That's a really good one. Mention the God and Son suffering due to Trinity and baptism. Body. Yeah, that's good, Katie. That's a really smart thing to do. Right. Well, that's worrying, Dahlia. And Christianity and Judaism. Blaze. I'm not teaching about Judaism today because we're about to do the exam for my guys on Christianity and whatever their other religion is. So we're not doing that. Hate crime is the worst form of crime. Oh, that's a tough one. I like that one, Kai. If I can come to that one later, I will do. Let me write some of these down so I try and come back to them. So, peace and pacifism, I wanted to do. I should have just deleted that one. So I want to do one on peace and pacifism, and hate crime. Hate crime is the worst form of crime. Oh, that's a good question. I like that one, Kay. But we'll do peace and pacifism first, okay? So I think this is my prediction for the 12 marker this year. Well, that's not true. Do you like song called I don't know that song. Hello, Harry. Thank you. So, it's lovely to see you, darling. Peace and pacifism. So, I think the question this year might be like, it is the duty of all people to be peacemakers. Now, I don't know if it'll be exactly that. I could see that being sort of the question. No worries. Thank you, Jude. Good luck. I hope you get a 9. I hope everyone gets 9s, obviously. Okay, so, it's a duty of all people to be peacemakers. Okay, so, easiest thing, if it's a question about peacemakers, is to talk about some Christians agreeing with this. Okay, let's have a look at our quote bank. Okay, so I'm not at my war quotes. Where's my war quotes? That's Creation of the Universe. Pacifism. Where have I got peacemakers? Should have peacemakers on some of that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so some Christians would strongly agree with. Hello, Alex. Long time no see. You weren't in lesson today. Disappointed with this statement, as they believe that some Christians strongly believe in the statement, as they believe that Jesus commanded them to be peacemakers in the Bible. The quote: "Blessed are the peacemakers." Suggests that. I didn't realise that page had writing on it. Blessed are the peacemakers. Suggests that those who work towards peace will be blessed by God and therefore more likely to enter heaven. Okay, nice simple opening paragraph. Where is the quote from? It's Bible quote. It's the words of Jesus. Blessed are the peacemakers is part of the Beatitudes, which is a speech Jesus makes and something normally called the Sermon on the Mount. There's another quote that goes something like, "Read in the name of your God who created man with a drop of blood." Yes, there is. Read what. I don't know. I'm not going over the quotes about the Quran right now. Why is someone called me? That's just confusing. War, we can speak about Desmond Doss. Yeah, definitely talk about Desmond Doss. Definitely talk about Desmond Doss. So we can work towards peace, and that's a good thing. Okay. Now we've got to do the more slightly different thing, which is now arguing against peacemaking. Okay, and I don't think that's that difficult. You're just going to argue in favour of just war. Okay, treat others you wish to be treated. That would be perfect. Okay, we can drop that in. We'll drop that in the next paragraph, James. I think that's a great paragraph. But let's argue against peacemaking. Okay, other Christians might argue that though peacemaking is a good thing, sometimes war is a necessary, that's spelt wrong, action to solve issues. Now I'm going to move to the second page. For example, you're on study leave. Oh, sorry, Alex, I didn't realise that, mate. I didn't realise you were told not to come in. It's my fault. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. Nice quote as well. Right, I'm just going to stop you because you just keep saying things I don't understand, and I'm sorry, sometimes I just have to get rid of people. So, for example, so I'm arguing peacemaking about the just war theory suggests, and the just war theory is going to get you credit for religious knowledge, just that war can be a good thing if can be I'm going to go acceptable thing if it is fought for a just cause. For example, removing someone of evil who is causing death could be considered a good deed as it is saving lives. Okay. Yeah, Alex, that's true. You're not going to listen to that. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of things. Yeah, themes tomorrow. Alright, that's not useful. I'm just going to try and... Sorry, I do keep silencing people just because it's hard to focus on actual questions. Right, and there's just a lot of things coming in now. Yeah. So, now a quote to support this is, now I'm going to, once again, I'm trying to keep it just on Christianity to make it sort of simple. Hello Adam, nice to see you, darling. Good luck for tomorrow as well. I will do, I'm trying to do as many questions as I can. Yeah, good luck Molly. I hope that's good for you. Quote to support this is when Jesus says, if you do not have a sword, sell your shirt and buy one. This suggests that all Christians should be willing to fight. Okay. Any other questions? This is for AQA. So this is for AQA themes paper tomorrow, and I'm focusing on themes A, B, D, and E. Okay, they're the only themes that I'm teaching. The question is, Mr. Oren, it is the duty of all people to be peacemakers. It's one of my predictions for what will come on tomorrow. Now, annoyingly, I did predict one question absolutely spot on for the last exam, so I'm hoping I can predict some correctly for today. Have you got potential 12-mark questions, whether special or general revelation more important? Neo, I'm not doing Theme C at all. I don't teach Theme C, sorry. That's just what I do at my school. Okay, I'd love to be able to help, but I'm just nowhere near an expert in it. So the Muslim teachings to marry unmarried women. Now the quote is one that slipped my mind. It's a that's frustrating, Harry. It's when they tell them to marry the wives of former soldiers. I'm not going to look at that right now. I need to focus on this question. I'm getting distracted. Okay. So Jesus said, if you do not have your shirts, sell your shirt and buy one. I didn't put the quotation mark in there, but quotation mark. This is that all Christians should be willing to fight. Now, don't forget, we've got to make it a flowing answer. Okay. However, a weakness of this argument, so I'm going to argue again that peacemaking is good, is that just because you are willing to fight, I'm going to go to another page, doesn't mean you should not also promote peace. For example, the just war theory says that a war is only just (brackets fair) okay, if its aim is to restore peace and justice. Christians may argue that even though war is necessary, peacemaking is necessary also. I know, too many people, Alex. It's blown my mind. I was hoping just for a small group that I could help with the exam. I don't know what subtopics mean for ABD. That's what I'm trying to predict is topics for that. Yeah, Toby, if I know how to do that, I've downloaded it now so I can move it to my laptop. If you could tell me, Toby, where I put it so people can access it, I'll happily put it there. I don't know where to do that. I'm an old, confused man. Some quotes from Pope Francis from other videos. It's still kind of... Yeah. Pope Francis is definitely someone you can quote, Dahlia. Just pop it in the exam and say, as Pope Francis says, he counts fully as a source of authority. So, I did do some predictions earlier for what I think will come up, Molly. Okay, so, theme A, okay? I think the 12 marker will be on divorce, okay? I think the 12 marker is going to be on divorce, okay? Theme B, I think the 12 marker is going to be on euthanasia, okay? Theme D, I think the 12 marker is going to be on, I think it's going to be in pacifism, but I don't know that. These are all guesses, don't forget. I could be horribly wrong on these. And theme E, I think the 12 marker, I mean, and this one I'm weakest on, as in, I think my guess is weak. I think it's going to be community service. or corporal punishment. I mean, they're both weak ones. I think are not the best. I hope they have helped. Okay. Yeah, I think Dream. I think a lot of people are predicting. So C is really difficult, Mr. Rush 1X. I think C is really difficult. And I'm sorry, I'm not revising that one. Hopefully, there's some good resources out there for you. I think a lot of religious schools have done that. Molly, I'm just going to now another one that I might think is coming up on theme B, sorry, and I think the 5 marker is going to be abortion. 4 marker is going to be abortion. That's my predict. Doesn't let you write the word abortion. I forgot that. And I think the 5 marker is going to be animal rights. That's my prediction for that one. Okay. So Molly. So theme B. That would be my prediction. I think you would have the 4 marker on abortion, and I think it'd be two contrasting views on abortion. I think your 5 marker would be animal rights, and then I think your 12 marker would be euthanasia. Okay, that's where I see this. Oren, it's a guess, but what I've done is I've gone through all the past papers, looked at where questions come up, and I think that's what I would expect. Okay, if I was planning the exam, that is what I would do. Okay, so Martha, actually the quote is normally taken as thou shalt not kill, but thou shalt not murder will absolutely do you as well. Yeah, I think C is incredibly hard, Rush. I think that's a really hard module, and that's why I don't teach it. What do you say for community service? I did a question on community service earlier in this thing, so if you go back in the video, I'm sure you can find it. Could you mention for all who draw the side? Yes, you definitely can, Mr. Suran. Where have I put that one? Here you go. No, it's not on that wall. Where's the wall? Pacifism. For all who live by the sword, die by the sword. So I've got for all who live by the sword, die by the sword. So I would use that in any question about holy war, okay? If there's a question about holy war, you could say, oh, people should fight in a holy war because they're defending their faith. And there's a really nice... Have I got any more of my bits of snow? Yeah, let's go from a bit of snow. There's a really nice quote on that, okay? Declare a holy war, call the troops to arms. The Bible actually says declare a holy war. However, we shouldn't declare a holy war because, I hurt myself. For all who live by the sword, die by the sword. We shouldn't use violence. But Jesus says, whoever does not have a sword, sell your shirt and buy one. Okay, so there's quotes from the animal abuse question. Yeah, animal abuse. Where are we? Use of animals, okay? God made the earth and gave us stewardship over it, so we shouldn't damage animals, okay? The righteous care for the needs of their animals. And then up here, everything that moves shall be food for you, and I need to build a little tower again. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky. If you don't mind, keep it in the comments somewhere, so we see them after the video ends. Yes, let me see how I do that. So, okay. Predictions, okay? Oh no, that was awful, because that just... Prediction. I'm going to type them so you can see them. Predictions. Theme A, divorce. Theme B, euthanasia. Theme D, peacemaking. Theme E, community service, though that's a real guess, okay? Community service, okay? / corporal punishment, okay? Now, is there any way to pin that? Can I pin? Pin message. Haha, I don't know where it pins it, but I hope that helps. I mean, I wish I knew how to write more in that. Oh, there you go, pinned at the top, that's worked. Guys, I can do another sort of 10-15 minutes, but I have a 2-year-old who I need to get stuff ready for the morning for. For Christianity, could you use... fill the earth and subdue it. I think that's a really good quote. If it doesn't say which religion to use in the questions, can you use Christianity? Do you have to use 2? Road Pilot, I teach my students to use just Christianity if it doesn't state. I mean, some schools suggest it's better to use 2 religions. I think as long as you're doing contrasting views in that religion, you should be absolutely fine. Quotes on divorce, James. Absolutely brilliant, okay? Cohabitation, where's divorce? Where have I put divorce? Where's divorce? Marriage, divorce, okay? Can I jump from that one to that one? Here? Right, quotes on divorce. What God has joined together, let no man pull apart. This suggests divorce is always wrong. Because God has joined together, no one can break up the relationship, okay? I think that's a perfectly good quote for that one, okay? Anyone who divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery against her. This is the Catholic idea that it's wrong to get remarried even because you made that commitment for life. You said in your vows, another quote, till death us do part. So therefore, if till death do us part suggests that we have to stay together forever, if you remarry, you're cheating on that person. That's adultery. And then we can drop in another quote, you shall not commit adultery. So we're using all these quotes in the same answer. You don't understand the use of natural resources in Christianity? Absolutely fine, Lollipop. That's an odd name. I guess it's not your birth name. Why do I assume that? So, use of natural resources. Basically, you're going to use stewardship and dominion, okay? So, can we use lots of natural resources? Yes, we can, because God gave us dominion over the earth. We should use it. He gave it, okay? The earth, where's natural resources? Where do I put it? So, is it up here somewhere? Maybe I didn't put that quote in there, okay? So here's an anti one, okay? God made the earth and gave us stewardship over it. So we can't use natural resources, we have to look after the planet, okay? There you go. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it. This suggests we can't use all the natural resources because it's all the earth. So God created all... The earth belongs to God, so therefore we shouldn't be destroying it, okay? But the Bible also says that humans rule over the fish in the sky... fish in the sky, for Christ's sake. The fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over everything that everything that lives, and that suggests that we have dominion over the world, and therefore we can use all the natural resources. Do you have any quotes for greed? Yes, Nazuku. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Where's that one? I have got it written up somewhere. Causes of crime, greed. For criminy's sake. Greed. The love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, the love of money is the root of all evil. Reformation. To change someone's behaviour, say don't break the law in the first place. Okay. What's reformation? To change someone's behaviour so they don't break the law in the first place. Yeah, flying fish. I know. I'm having a day. It's going there. So, Oren, sorry, I saw you answer that question before. I thank you for repeating it. I don't know if it will come up directly as a question, though certainly it could, but I'd be disappointed if you didn't use it in a war question. Even if the question's about peacemaking or pacifism, I would use just war as part of my answer. Patel, I have thousands of abortion quotes. So, where's my abortion section? That's war. It's over here. Have I got any more things I can put on the floor as blocks? Yeah, I've got some mud. Right. Okay. Where's my abortion section? Okay, thou shalt not kill, Patel is the first one, really simple, okay? But here's a better one. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. This suggests that God is already aware of us when we're in the womb, and therefore any form of abortion would be wrong because we're already a human being to God, and that's killing them, okay? So it is not the will of the Father who is in heaven that these little... these little creatures should... that's the long one that's gone out there, okay? The hate crime 12 marker... Oh, yes, sorry, Kite, right. I mean... I do need to go to sleep at some point. So, 12 marker on hate crime. Retribution, to get back at someone, to punish them in a way that fits the crime, okay? So, quickly, I'll do a hate marker 12, hate crime 12 marker, okay? Delete all the stuff that's in there already. Right. You were right. Thank you for reminding me of that one. How do I write on this page? Right, I don't know. Okay, add a page. Excellent. Oh, I don't know how I did that. Right, here we go. So, hate... Yeah, I hate 12 markers. Hate crime is the worst form of crime. That's what it'd be in basic forms. Yes, great, Nikki. Or Nietzsche. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Okay, excellent. Okay, so right. So hate crime. So I'll just do this one, and then I'm going to go and do my duty as a parent, which is, as we know, one of the most important duties we can have. So hate crime is the worst form of crime, okay? Some Christians would agree with this. I'm going to go Christian on this one, okay? Statement, as they would say that. And I'm going to go really simple. Jesus taught us to love thy neighbour. And therefore, when we commit a crime based on hate, we are not only breaking the law, but breaking one of his teachings. Okay, hate crime is particularly bad as it goes against the Christian teaching that all people are equal as they were created by God. Okay. Yes, you can use Gandhi in that one, exactly, but I'm just going to try and focus on Christianity. Okay. Retribution is no, retribution is not that, Mr. letters. Okay, retribution is eye for an eye. Do to others what they have done to you. Okay. Thank you, DK Official. I'm glad that's helping. Examples of hate crimes. Hate crime would be any crime that is motivated by hate. So the killings in America recently in that supermarket were hate crimes. Okay, that young man decided to shoot up the people in that supermarket because of the colour of their skin. Okay, that is a hate crime. Okay, good. Thank you, Molly, for doing the correct answer. Okay, all the videos are still up there, Dream. So try and watch as many as you can. Okay, so that's my first statement on hate crimes. Okay, on the other hand, some people may suggest that the worst crimes are... Now, see, I'm not going to argue that hate crimes aren't bad. That's a fool's errand. Arguing hate crimes are bad is going to get you stuck. Let's say you forget a quote for a reason, but you have an idea. Yes, Parable of the Sheep and Goats counts as a quote on its own. So you say Parable of the Sheep and Goats is a quote. If you can't remember a quote, just say in the Bible it says and get as close as you can, okay? So, so on the other hand, some people may suggest that the worst crimes are those motivated by greed, okay? I didn't do a capital G for greed. I'm going to argue that there's, like, not that hate crimes aren't bad, but that other crimes are either equally bad or worse, okay? I mean, I don't know. I haven't done WJEC for about 10 years. I do apologise, okay? This may be based on the Bible quote, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." This would teach that crimes committed by greed are not only illegal, but also a form of evil. It could be suggested, therefore, that they are worse than hate crimes. No, Sabria, you don't have to mention which part of the Bible it's from. Obviously, if you want to sound really good, you can mention it's an Old Testament or Jesus quote, but just saying it's a Bible quote is absolutely fine, okay? Just say it's a Bible quote, okay? Can retribution use someone's from the dead's role? Don't know what that means, Leo. I do apologise. Be careful, you're losing hunger. Oh, in the game? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, in real life, I'm gaining hunger, I suppose. Not the story of Job. Would you need to quote exact quote story? No, I would just say the story of Job. I would not be doing exact quotes, okay? If you know one, absolutely fine. But if you say in the Bible and the story of Job, what you've done is you've given a source of scripture and you've referenced a bit of the Bible. You've got your religious justification there. Bilal, if you look at the predictions at the top that I pinned as a message, they're the 12 markers that I believe will come up. That's my prediction for the 412 markers. If you go back through the video, I've tried to address that. Yeah, Juby, that's right. Try and use as many quotes as possible, but minimum of two. Minimum of two. Thank you for people pointing out to Bilal that they're pinned. I did try to do that. No, I don't think people are. I think... Oh, I may... What would your best guess be on 12 markers for C? I did have a little look on 12 marker for C, and I thought it would be first cause argument. I think first cause argument. Pacifism used Desmond Doss. Let me finish this one on hate crimes, guys. And then Desmond Doss was a Christian who worked for peace. He's in the film Hacksaw Ridge, which is a film of his life. Okay, so that's how I do it. I prefer AQA now. Before 2014, I preferred Educas, but they made the exams harder for everyone, and I think AQA took over at that point. Right, so... Now we're going to argue hate crimes are the worst crimes again, okay? However, non-religious believers may suggest that hate crimes are the worst forms of crime as they promote prejudice and intolerance within society. Therefore, I mean that's awful spelling. Therefore, they need to be punished. I mean my spelling is fallen apart. Punished severely, so as to act as a deterrent against other similar crimes. Okay, so I'm using deterrence to show that. Sorry, to act against other people who may spread hate. Okay, sorry, I got confused there. No, you don't have to, Taha. If you can keep an argument all Christian, absolutely do. I'm just trying to throw in a non-religious one to help people out. I mean, not really, unfortunately, Aryan, I do have to go. Yeah, I don't know who Ben Wardle is. I'm sorry that I haven't got any theme C's up. This is for theme E. So this is theme E. So this is a hate crime question. Okay. What do you need to know about evolution? Molly, not much about evolution, okay? Not enough for the science exam. Essentially, all you need to say about it is evolution is how many scientists believe that human beings were created, and religious people, liberal Christians, might argue that it was God who chose humans to evolve in this different way. My pets are absolutely fine. The dog, come here, dog. The dog has been by my feet for the entire time. She's doing very well. Okay, you going to say hello, Rosa? Hello. Okay. She's lovely. I mean, you're silly, aren't you? But you're lovely. You're gorgeous. Okay, so then I'm going to do a final one to argue that something's a worse crime than hate crimes. Yeah, I know, okay. So I could do crimes... do you mention persecution and hate crime? Yes, exactly, okay. However, some people... let's go Christians again. Some Christians may argue that all crimes are equally bad and should not be seen as different as in the... Yeah, Max, I don't do theme C. I'm sorry, I don't teach at my school. I think it's really hard, and that's part of the reason I don't like to teach it. And I haven't done any work for it myself, so I would struggle to answer that with a 12 marker off the top of my head. I do apologise. Yes, the dog is my wife. I'm on the wrong section. No, not hate crimes. Crimes. So, love of money, poverty, and let's go. This one, okay. Oh no, actually, let's do sober-minded. That's actually a better paragraph. That'd be a fun one. Let's say some Christians may argue that that crimes that are committed because of addiction are the worst form of crime, as the Bible teaches us to be sober-minded, and therefore if we commit crimes because of addiction, we have not only broken the law, but gone against God's teaching to be sober and clear of thought. Okay, nice one. Okay, and then I'd probably go overall hate crimes are the worst because it's an easy argument to make. Okay, any quotes of gender equality, please? Yeah, gender equality quotes. I think they're up here. No, marriage, divorce, gender equality. He created them, male and female, he created them, suggests that all people are equal in the eyes of God. There's neither Jew nor Gentile, slave nor free, nor is there male or female, for you're all one in Christ Jesus. Then if you want to say men and women aren't equal, the story of Adam and Eve in Genesis suggests men and women aren't equal. Eve is literally created from Adam's rib. Okay, I do themes A, B, D, and E. Go back and watch this whole thing. It's all for A, B, D, and E. Okay, and women must remain silent in churches. Do you have any quotes on gender equality discrimination quotes? All literally the ones I just read out there, Molly. Okay, all the ones I've read out. Okay, women must remain silent in churches. I'm going to read about the last paper. I think this paper is easier at Louis. That's my personal opinion. I think that it's much easier because you can talk about non-religious things. Any last advice? Personally, what I like to do at the start of an exam is I split my time into 25-minute sections for this one, okay? And I would write on the top of the themes paper what time I'm finishing that section, just to keep myself moving through it. I can't do theme F because I don't teach it, that's absolutely fine. I mean, bizarrely, YouTube has blocked that message thinking it's offensive, but it's not, because you're stating a fact rather than a point of view. Sorry, Mohammed, I don't have time to do theme F. If you look in my past videos, I did theme F a few years ago, so you can watch that one. No worries. I can't because that's theme F, and I'm not teaching that now because I'm about to go to sleep myself. I've got work in the morning. The question I was talking about with hate crimes is, there's one that someone suggested, hate crime is the worst form of crime. Please feel free to go back and watch a video. It should be saved in a second, but I have got a video on theme F. Charlie said, I don't know if you start from 12 markers. 15 minutes per 12 markers, sorry. I would do 15 minutes and 12 markers. Sum up theme B. No, I've got a full video on theme B. Go and watch a video on theme B. I can't sum it up now. Okay, it's all on this wall over here. There's a full video on it. Okay, right. I will give that. Is it possible to easily run out of time? I think it's possible to run easily out of time, so I'd be very careful. Write down how long it'll take on each section, okay? Good luck, guys. If I teach you tomorrow, I'll see you before the exam. I will have special pens for you. Doesn't the women priest? Yeah, exactly. Dahlia, you're talking about one of the hypocrisies of Christianity, and that's something you can mention, okay? Goodbye, good luck, enjoy yourselves.